welcome back from the break. Still on Books and Blogs. We are reviewing Princess Adhis and
the Niger Coca brother.
He's the author. He's the author. So, violent book. It has infidelity. It has drugs. It has promiscuity. It has death, goriness, accidents. I mean, everybody dies. I think apart from one person. And you're in this headspace, which Alexa said, whether you're in that headspace or not, these are things that happen. So he has kind of justified your madness. And I said that from a very...
There's a method to that.
Yes. So, before we went on break, I was asking about why Adhis needed the mayor and she has the drug dealer, and the men kind of saying, you know, hey, she doesn't having... But you know, the women are like, oh, yeah, why? Yeah, why? For what? But then, how did the drug baron know about Adhis's affair?
I think, being who he is, you would have to know, because he already has the 2 henchmen who are there.
Yes.
He probably has a network of suppliers. So I'm sure he has his eyes on his wife. He would not leave
but
such
Alex
things
said
to
that
chance.
they were not together anyway, so it was just a relationship of convenience.
They're not intimate, but when it comes to matters business, they're very much together.
That's what I'm
She
talking
is part
about.
of his investments in Kenya.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so it's a business
keeping,
relationship, right?
Yeah.
So why should I care what else you're doing with your time in life? If
Because
it's
it
a
could
business
jeopardize the
relationship?
investment.
The guys, yes, the person was thinking of taking over the drug routes. If you read carefully.
I read very carefully.
The thing, yeah.
Very carefully.
Zarina, it was a setup.
Okay.
That entire deal that goes down
Yeah.
is a setup.
Yes,
Yeah.
he decided to.
Yes.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
After
Yes.
that point,
Yes.
why was he jealous
Yes.
over this relationship?
But we are implying, we are assuming that he didn't care about that part of their relationship. That's not expressly told. She probably doesn't think he's all that, but we can't speak for him. He probably thinks this is still my wife, you know? So what are you doing going around with this other guy?
It's male ego. Yeah? And that's what it is. It's what you possess, what you hold.
So we
what
may
is
not be
yours.
close, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It may be a relationship of convenience,
Yes.
but at the same time, there's no way you're going...
Yes, and planning all these setups because he already knows,
Yeah.
I also don't want to give away too much, but
Yeah.
he sort of knows from the back source, the
Yeah.
drug sources,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that this foolish man has been reaching out to them.
Ah.
So he's thinking, you want to take my business,
Yeah.
you want to
And
throw me
my
out,
wife.
and you want to take my wife. Men don't react. The beast in men
Yes.
does not react
No.
well to that type of thing. Yeah, because you want to just sort of, you know, wreck my life. You will take everything I have.
Yeah. And also as
So
her,
there's that.
I think for Princess Adhis, it was quite naive and foolish of her to carry along the boyfriend on errands.
I was
sent
going
by
there.
the
Why are you
husband.
going with this guy? Are you crazy?
He's gonna get a report back. You sent 2 people. It's like,
Yeah,
no, I
exactly.
sent 1 person. Who's the second
so-
one?
Yeah, that's probably how he found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she went with the, she went to collect the money
Yeah,
from
with the
German.
mayor.
She went with this other guy, the mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably how
And
the,
Nigeria.
Yeah.
the
So I'm
Oga
like,
found out.
okay, is it that in her mind, is it a function of stupidity, or she thought that the Nigerian, it's not that serious with us anyway, so
Yeah.
he won't care who I'm with?
Yeah, it was,
Well,
I
is
don't-
Adhis a stupid woman?
Yes.
I think she's a slay queen.
No,
Yeah,
but
it's the type of woman we have been seeing. So she's a slay queen. Yeah,
Slay
this
queens don't
princess-
necessarily mean they're stupid.
Yeah,
Let's
but
just
and
be
we
kind.
have had cases
that
where
term
you can
is so
see
random. I don't even know what it means anymore.
Actually, you've had cases, huh?
Yeah, we've had recent cases where you see this type of provocations and so on with very dangerous men. Yeah? Yes? With very dangerous men. So you find, and the outcomes are not, no one deserves such outcomes, but you find
be
a slay
imagined.
queen like sending pictures and so on. You know, there's a level of stupidity and arrogance to that kind of thing, because a cleverer woman wouldn't be in that space.
Would be a bit discreet,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
But these people, that's the way they operate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
They
needs
operate like that.
unless you liberate my mind from thinking that these relationships meant anything to Adhis. Because as a woman, you want to have, even if you have like 4 relationships going on, at least you want to have one meaningful one. Yes, Wendy?
Yes, or they all add value to your life in different ways.
No. I will not accept that because I would accept that because then you're taking me back to that confusion of Adhis has Mayor Mutola, has Ochineku. Ochineku is the don. He has the money and the husband, and has opened these businesses for her and have investments. This mayor, I'm not even sure for what.
And he doesn't even like her or treat her well.
Yes.
So
you see?
the mayor.
No, but Alex got it right. He flatters her. He said he has his own. And this is in love with the mayor.
Okay.
It comes out clearly in the story. It comes out.
That doesn't need any explanations. If you're in love, you're in love.
Yes.
You're blind.
Yes.
Love is blind.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
You're taking us
That's why she wants to carry along.
Yeah.
Yeah. But him is like
he
the
doesn't
usual
care.
conniving politician.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's
He
already
cares, but he
seen.
cares about only one person.
Yes.
Yeah, himself.
Himself.
Yeah? And he also wants to use Adhis to get into Ochineku's wealth.
Yes.
He's using everyone.
That's his plan.
He
Yeah.
wants to use everyone. The immigration minister. He wants to use
Yes.
everyone. He's a mastermind.
That's
criminal
saying
mastermind.
Adhis is this girl who's left in the middle with no man who truly cares about her.
Yeah.
Sad but true.
Yes.
And that's
I
happened.
got it. Yes. Because I'm like, okay.
Sentences, yes.
And I really don't like to use the word stupid because I think it's very unkind.
Naive.
But she doesn't realize that none of them cares. Yes? Or she thinks she's smarter than them. So that's why I can go with the mayor to this.
I think that was. Sorry, I'm speaking for you. I'm not the author.
No,
but
it's okay.
how I explained it to myself was, maybe she's conveniently made naive for the plot, because it looks like she doesn't have any ambitions of her own. What does she want other than being the errands girl
That's
for
exactly
Ochineku?
it. That's what I was grappling with.
And also being with this man she loves who offers her nothing. So
And treats her like
what is
crap.
she living for? Like she
He
has.
treats her like crap. He keeps promising, and it's as if
But
Alex is
that's
the only one who
crappy
understands.
treatment.
How
You
many
can't keep
women-
promising
how many
me
women-
things.
How many women
What
are
was she
lied to?
promised?
Yeah.
Finish
how
that
we live
statement.
together.
How many women
What
are
was she
How many
promised?
women? You're very sharp.
Finish that statement.
Tell people watching at home, guys know when the men, I'm not saying the English box, the gentlemen behind there, the camera are laughing.
Yeah.
When you say,
You know what?
Okay, you're laughing.
yes, okay, he's laughing.
They know where that box is.
When they say, we are in the English box, it's a box.
Meaning?
It's a mental box. Yeah, they know, that now that one.
I'm hiding you. I'm
Yeah,
telling you
like,
here.
I know now your mind. I own your mind, I own your body.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Again, I go back to
And
that
a woman
point.
inside the box. These women you see are very confused. That's why I've given out their cars.
Okay, so did you come off as wanting to cast this as not intelligent?
Was that
unintelligent?
deliberate? Yeah.
Was it deliberate? Or were you saying this is how women in Nairobi, which is where you live, so I can only use that example, so that women in Nairobi don't kill me. He's a Kenyan author. He lives in Nairobi, so maybe we can point you. So were you saying, were you stereotyping women in Nairobi in casting Adhis the way you did?
No, she represents one type of woman.
And
She's
why-
not the model for all women.
Thank you for saying that.
She represents a certain type.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, and it's a slay queen.
How come there's no other women in this book?
The little girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
the little
exploited
girls.
at the coast.
Okay.
Yeah, the ones who the three Germans.
Yes.
Were they Germans?
Foreigners.
Foreigners.
And
So
Italian.
you said foreigners.
No,
Yes.
there's a German and Italian.
Yeah, I remember the
and
German.
an American.
Who owns a chain
who
of
makes
But you start with that
Who
story.
owns a chain of
who owns a chain of
the
Yeah,
coffee
of
shop?
things,
Of coffee
of
shops.
different.
But also, Catherine,
Yes.
it's important to realize that the story takes place within a fairly short period.
Okay.
So the question about Adhis and so forth, and in what exactly ambitions might be, and so forth. So this woman has got her own nightclub here in Nairobi.
Which part of Nairobi? Deep West.
not
Nairobi
at
West.
shimmering
Nairobi
West.
West.
Between, let's say somewhere let's say near the national park.
It's about the national park. She got this.
Shimmering West.
She's got this
okay.
foreign husband. This Nigerian husband.
Yeah.
She travels all over the all over the globe. Basically,
Yes,
she has
yeah.
a lot of money and so forth. So to the outside world, she's actually doing fine.
Yeah.
You understand? So she's not like suffering. She's not like she's torturing and you're wondering what does she get out of this relationship.
Yeah.
In fact, many people would admire her.
Yes.
From
Which is what
the
people do
outside.
now, even.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so she's not in a bad
Yeah.
state. So she's not in a hurry to leave. And
Yeah.
the fact that she's got the attention of two men.
Yes. Two seemingly
Two men.
powerful.
Yeah, that's a bonus. So she's not necessarily in a bad place. The guy is in a bad place was the guy who was hanged, being tortured.
Let's talk about the torture, Tony. Like seriously, who
Yes.
does that?
Like seriously, it happens all the time.
Does it?
Does it?
Yeah,
To that
a year
extent?
ago, no. We had a year ago during the elections.
What happened?
We had that very unfortunate Musando.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had, and
Yeah.
Kenya, it's just that we hide from these things. But if you actually, like I know this guy, Johansen, this government pathologist, Johansen Odur, But if you look at sometimes the work when he does within government, we're very brutal people.
Yeah.
We have some animals within the society, and when they want to get certain answers, when they want to get answers,
They'll do whatever.
They'll go to a lot of
extent,
lengths.
yeah.
So this is something, you're looking very serious about it. It's a hard thing, but I said I don't see it in books.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
people are not. It's brushed over and so on.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, what's the torture process like? So I also researched. What are the effects? What do they do?
Yeah.
What's it to be waterboarded? And the other things that go on in there. When
And
you spread even the psychology.
Disease vials,
Yes.
that I found a bit extra.
Yes.
Because you
That must have been the coconut. That was not part of a cunning author's plot.
Let me
That
tell
one,
you.
when I was in the torch, I was like, yeah.
Your imagination
You're just
like
making-
hats off.
You're making use of the
Yeah.
research. You know, but this research has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
One guy's gonna get it.
I mean, I've been given like 2 sweets and research, but I got greedy. Putting
Yeah.
kill the guy.
Okay. Which was Wendy your least favorite scene or weave in the book?
I think it would have to be the
torture?
No, not the torture. That was quite deliberate.
Really?
Oh.
That
No,
was apparently.
Well, I did not enjoy it, but I appreciate what you did with it, because it had me looking.
Your research don't go
You
to
know,
waste.
like
He did not go to waste on. He's
Yeah.
a big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
you know how when you have to actually look at your surroundings and center yourself back in reality, then you know the book carried you. Like, oh, there's no God Papa around. Okay,
Yeah.
it's in the book only. So yeah, that was good. I think the sad bit was the children's, the one that's set in
The
Watamu.
pedophilia.
The pedophilia, and even leading up to. And I was just thinking about this when you see like there's youth on drugs. Yeah, it sounds like a very vague term, but when you introduce Hussein, who's only 15 and is hooked on heroin, then it gets a face.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, 15.
Yeah.
I just thought of the 15-year-olds I know, and I'm like, I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
So
And that's the reality of things, right?
Exactly.
They get introduced at that age.
Exactly.
Yeah, at
15 is
first
young.
there are a lot of zombies. Yeah, I mean, like if you go to some parts of Mombasa, and I said it was a dark period.
yeah.
When you go to those those recovery centers, there are drugs that pass through Kenya. All these drug deals, but some stop. Mombasa is still a big port. There was a time we were destroying. The president blew up a ship.
Or sheep, yeah.
Yes,
He
I
blew up
remember.
a ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Mombasa has a lot of zombies, and the entire coastal area has just got very young people. So it's young girls, they're still in their teens, being confused by, that tourists, we always celebrate our tourist numbers.
Yeah.
That's good.
But
We
what
say,
are
oh,
they
we
bringing?
got one, not all of them, but when we say we got 2 million visitors
What have they
in
come for?
2017, all humanity has a small percentage. There's some guys who come for very specific. They're not coming to see
Tastes.
wildlife. Yes, yeah, they come
Yeah.
for specific
Specific assignments.
assignments. Yeah. And in the only countries they can't access.
Yeah.
They
And
can't
also,
access
I
that.
feel like
So
we are
when you
very
go to
lax.
those villages, you'll see even
Yeah.
a lot of young girls sometimes, and you find them with Nusumzungu children.
Yeah,
Somebody
like
16.
lately, I
I
see a lot of
think 2 upper.
Chinese kids pointing
Yes, yes.
in Nairobi.
It's a cooperation.
Just an example. I have nothing against.
It's part of Uzanipa Madeni.
We've already been forgiven a couple
Oh my God, I have nothing against interracial relationships with any nationality. Oh my God, I
We
can
just
so
improving
much.
ties with the East.
Close attention.
Yeah.
Sino-African relations.
Okay. So I hear you. So it's also a reality on the ground, and you give an example with especially the coastal area.
Yes, and I also wanted to do it in a realistic way. Because people are so scared of it. I also hadn't read it. I wanted a bit of a shock to the system.
Yeah.
But with something that's this fiction and it's shocking. What about those people where it's actually real life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear
I mean,
And you put some police at the gate of where the crime happens, yeah? I also found that to be a bit, yes. But maybe truthful, because I know foreigners get away with a lot that locals would not.
Yeah.
I mean, they pay them off, of course.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So Alex, which was your least favorite part or scene or plot in the book?
Oh, definitely the extended torture scenes. It's hard to imagine.
The stretched out torture scenes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's hard to imagine anyone enduring such horrendous torture.
Apart from Tony and Wendy.
but in fact, makes you wonder what this guy's motivation is, because I tend to extract information from him. So what's your motivation for hanging on after all these horrible things are being done to you? Because it depends on the scenario.
Yeah.
Like I've heard people say, like, if it's a mother, for example, and it wants to, protecting the children, whatever. So she will, she'll take the torch and so forth. Protecting their kids and so forth. Or in the father.
Yeah.
This dude was a father and he's protecting something, but it's money. It's wealth and so forth. So well, just
you can always make some more.
To see another day. So
This is a point
I didn't understand.
This is how poets talk, eh?
I didn't understand.
This is how poets don't make so much money.
So like, it's just money.
It's just money.
You're being tortured that horrendously.
There are some people who say,
being cut up and
there are
things.
people who kill themselves. They lose money.
Yeah,
they kill
and it has
themselves.
happened.
And many times, so
Yeah.
don't just say
They
it's
lose-
just money.
they lose money and then-
like the philosopher you are.
Well, it just points to, I think, and that's where I'm going. Like, out of everyone you killed in this book, maybe you should have killed the princess, as opposed to her getting a sentence.
But she was the most innocent.
No,
She was
wasn't.
the least criminal of the criminals. Well, they're all criminals.
A level of such a
A level of criminality chini kidogo. She gets a pass. Plus, her heart was going to get broken and so forth. He spared a thought for her.
You spared-
He spared.
Yeah, why did you spare her? Why was she the only one who got was arrested and things? Why?
No, because Adhis was not in the thick of. Okay, she was in the thick of things, but she didn't have what the lawyers call mens rea. Her
Now you
motives,
started law, you want to teach us. What's mens rea?
Educate
no,
us.
her motivations. She was a vehicle for urgency. She was not like the prime mover of any of the crimes. Yeah, her motivations are different. Eh? She's flying on flights of fantasy when she'll be with her true love, the mayor, because she loves him.
Yeah.
And she's in the plot only that she knows that the husband will just be deported
Yeah.
and everything.
Did she know? Was she in the plan? Like,
She
did she
wasn't
know
fully,
the...
but she knew his yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's those women who don't ask also too many questions. Yeah?
Clearly.
I know the Zarina will say, oh yeah, why then she ask more questions? You have to remember the women who don't ask questions.
Why?
They don't, I don't know. Yeah? A man moves into your house. You don't know where he wants.
Again.
Exactly. A man moves into your house, eh?
Again.
That is
Where you have your
that is so
child
true.
there. Naka true. Yeah, he just tells you vaguely, yes, he says Afghanistan. Eh? You're like, Cheers.
No,
Yeah.
to
So
Tony's
what's in your drink?
You're gonna let the family.
You have juice? Because you seem to
Sorry,
really...
no, but to Tony's point, there's a woman from that actually who lived with she's married. Her husband worked in a courtroom as a clerk, and for 6 years of marriage, and they even have children. She thought he was a judge. And he was just a clerk at the courtroom.
Maybe that's
she
a
couldn't
story.
ask
That's
too
a
many
life
questions.
story.
That's real life.
Maybe she was
So
told that.
she probably obviously doesn't investigate too much.
What if she was
ask too
told
many questions?
by the
Because he goes to the court every day.
So she was told, I'm a judge.
I'm a
and
judge,
she-
Yeah.
she
So he said he's a judge, and for all these years they've been actually
So how
married.
did she discover?
Oh, he was involved in a business that went bad later.
Yeah.
And then he was arrested.
Yeah, some construction business. So when
Then
the
the judge
details
was
emerged,
arrested.
they're like, it's that clerk guy and so forth.
Like,
He said, no, he's a judge. She said, no, he's a clerk.
So Tony was saying, Princess Adhis was those ones of me, I've gotten my money, I don't need to ask questions. And there's lots of women like that in our society.
Yes, they're not curious. There's no curiosity
is it-
beyond the basics or the luxury.
Is it that, or it's that the men in the book are good liars? Because for me to be able to agree to a story, probably you've just, you've constructed it really well. Yeah.
No, but
I
it
think
can
both.
Be, it can be both.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are people who like that.
I think both. The men are
Clash,
liars
Yes.
and
Yes,
the
and
women
good
are
liars.
the women are just have chosen to just be dumb.
And she's not idle. She runs her own
Yeah.
nightclub and so forth. And
Yeah.
that's pretty involving. And she's also
Yeah.
involved in this drug dealing and so forth,
Yeah.
traveling. So she's quite busy. She's not like the she's not the, like
Yeah,
the
she doesn't
anti-narcotics
have time
investigator.
to,
Yeah.
She's not FBI.
Yeah.
She's running her own life. So like when gets this money from the drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's investing it in her business and so forth.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
So
she's
busy.
busy.
Goes to the book, read it, then start thinking so many things about life. Yeah, when you're reading there, on the beach, you're thinking, yeah. There are people who live this life, just like
On
rabbits.
face value.
Yeah, they just run like rabbits. Like you say,
that's true.
yeah, so long as you have your biashara, and they even say, mimi niwekelee tu biashara yangu.
Yeah, nitakuwa sawa.
Yes,
But-
like they never introspect. And this is not an introspective person.
Okay.
So she's not curious even about herself. So how is she going to be curious
About other
about
but,
other people?
You've nailed it for me because I
Yes.
think my expectation of her was that she was going to be that kind of a woman.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're greedy and show off and everything, give me some value about who you are. Just kidogo value too,
Yeah.
But I didn't see that kind of thing that made me say, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But you also seem to have something against like Nigerian men.
Yeah.
These people, it's true because they have taken over like
But who left
a
the
film industry.
who left the
Not only
space?
They have taken it.
But it's their industry.
When you listen to music,
Even our
yeah,
filmmakers have taken over
they open
Riverwood.
the door even to transact.
Our filmmakers have taken over Riverwood.
Yeah.
Who's
No,
complaining?
Yeah, whose fault is
Who's
it?
complaining?
Who left the space for them to take over?
And now they've even come into the women's spaces. They're there pretending they're better groomed. Yeah, that they smell better.
What if they are?
And they're more mysterious.
They have
But
panache.
until I've chopped on my sweet on my
Oh, sorry.
yeah. So yeah, they like to pretend they have a lot of flair and the continental sophistication.
Yeah.
But in here,
Tony, let me tell you. Like Wendy said, they would not come into a space that's occupied. They have dignity enough to give respect to any place that's been occupied. If they come and they find emptiness, they habitate there. So like Wendy asked, who left for them to find a space to get it?
No, just take over. No, you can take something over. Like when the colonialists came to Africa, the
Now
Africans
you're
here, but they
comparing
still
this
took over.
story to colonialism.
There's a parallel to be drawn. The vacuum does not necessarily.
Poor innocent
It's okay.
Kenyan men.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay if they.
I think you have just like victimized yourselves
Yeah,
as,
no,
as
but you know-
some Kenyan men into imagining that Nigerians have come to take over.
No, but you have to accept that men are very competitive with each other, and if possible, if you're determined, I mean, that would happen. I mean, you can go to the club with a lady, and you're clearly together.
Yeah.
And someone is still trying to take it
Yeah.
over.
And
So-
especially if
so
it's a
this is-
Nigerian.
Okay, you go again.
You are there and they come in.
What happens?
Okay.
My sister, or waiting for
If
her
that's
when
the
she's going
case-
to the lavatory.
If that's the case, why
We
not?
need to close the
So
show.
it's called not having manners. Okay. It's
Okay.
called being mannerless.
Princess Adhis and the Niger Kokabroda. Is that how to pronounce it?
Well, you pronounce it very well.
Okay. If you love crime and everything that goes around it, within it, anything to do with crime, death, violence, drugs, relatable stories that are currently happening in our environment, in our society now, it's a book to read. It's a year for me. For you, Wendy?
Yes.
It's a
Please
yay.
read it,
Yes.
but we need a sequel.
We need a sequel. And for you, Alex?
Yes, it's a year. That's the dark underbelly of crime in Kenya. So it's a year, and I also think it should be a sequel. A sequel, probably more of the pornographers this time, because they mentioned.
My goodness.
No, those are the drugs.
No.
Okay.
But that's its own world.
Okay.
But they died.
No,
Okay. When we
Let-
say yeah, we
let
finish.
me
When
just
we
say, when you
say
say yes,
It's
I
a
have
year.
to say, people should expect very soon
Yeah.
another small novella,
Okay.
but based on very current events, and it will involve celebrities
Can we take a
and
guess?
mysterious local
Boyfriends.
men.
Who moving?
there you go. We have an expectation of a novella from Tony Mochama. Thank you so much for availing yourself and your book,
Yes.
your little nice pretty book. You finish this in about an hour. And then after that, you're like, whew, I need to take a walk. That's the reaction you
Yeah.
get. So have a pleasant Monday and thank you for watching. And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
You are Nigerians, whatever they did to you.
Yeah.
The dream of Limax Suit just came as just a dream. And I kept on feeling, because I travel a lot, I have traveled a lot, I kept on feeling that I needed to make apartments like the apartments have stayed outside, apartments where I have felt that I eat what I want. The only difference between the apartments here and the apartments I have stayed in outside there is because here we got a concept of a free, very free, like you probably see. The air is very fresh, and we do not have any dark areas. Every part of this building during the day, you don't have to put on the lights. And we don't have any air conditioning in these apartments. These are apartments that we call air healthy, because we are surrounded by trees around here, and therefore the air is very fresh. There is so much to do in here that even the few people who have come in and stayed in here have not finished to do the kind of things that they would want to do. There are things to do with boot camps. There are things to do with weddings. There are things to do with, we have gardens that would do birthdays, that would do graduation, all types of parties. I doubt there will be any other place that you'd go to and get what you can get in IMAX suits. Besides all the goodies that I have talked about, the staff here are very good. This place, we have made it home away from home. And therefore, this is a place where you feel, although you have left home, you still come to another place that is home, but totally different, because you have no responsibilities. You don't have to cook. You don't have to clean. These are serviced apartments where you don't have to do anything. The proximity we are talking of about only on a good day when there is no traffic, we are talking of about 15 minutes from the city center. On a day when there is a lot of traffic, it could take you even hours to get in here. And our prices are quite reasonable. If you come into a one-bedroom apartment, we are talking of 10,000 shillings. And out of the 10,000 shillings is bed and breakfast, and you enjoy the health club in here. And if you stay in a two-bedroom apartment, is 15,000 shillings, bed and breakfast, and you enjoy the health club. A one-bedroom is for two, a two-bedroom is for 4.